What's up?
Spark up.
What up?
Spark up.
Spark up! What's going on, peoples? What's going on, family? Here again again. We had another episode of
This shit on blast, dog.
Sticks and Convos, motherfucker.
This our I don't know, this right here, this my lovely torch, but this torch, man, be on some crazy shit.
Man, you don't know how to use that torch. You
Man.
can't even see the flame.
Okay.
Can't even see the flame. What's going on, y'all? So basically, got the good old V cup going on with the basic Olivia O. You know, this is basic. You know, we ain't doing all the premiums today. We just doing mediocre. All right, but we're not gonna give you mediocre results.
Have an ass. Have an ass. No, it's good. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm spoken the Boulevard. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Bam! So, man, today, what we gonna bless these people with? What we gonna talk to them about?
Well, today we're gonna talk about a little bit, a quick episode about financial literacy.
Are you serious?
Wow, this is so boring. I don't wanna. See, that's the problem. You don't supposed to be ripping off you don't supposed to rip the skin off of it.
I'm not. Look, man. I don't know what it be acting. It be acting up.
You're supposed to lick that and get it back.
That's
right.
what she said. Get it back right. You know I had to get you on that, boy. You walk right into that bit, boy.
So we're talking about financial literacy. So we're gonna create an avatar. All right. A person who has 400 credit score, debt out of the wazoo, only making $50,000 a year. Debt meaning has student loans, personal loans, credit card debt, car loan, house, and they live in an apartment. So, how do we successfully navigate that person out of the situation they're in and start helping them build financial wealth and financial understanding, financial literacy? This is the credit guy. So let's talk about credit first.
Oh man.
But let's talk about credit first.
Well, first and foremost, there's a lot of lazy asses out there that won't even sit down and do a spreadsheet of all their debts. First and foremost, you need to just go ahead and take all the bills that you got and spread them out. Put it on that spreadsheet. And then that way you can visualize what's going in and out and everything like that. Because remember that one thing that we saw where it was like you have what was that? What's his name? Billie Jean. When he's talking about you had two streams of income, or no, you get paid twice a month or whatever, but you got 80 bills or something.
Oh, so he was giving the analogy of most people have the reverse effect, right? You have one bank account, and you have this deducted for $20, this deducted for rent for $800, this deducted for car note for $200. You have 20 to 40 deductions that happens within a month. However, you only have maybe one or two deposits that go into your bank account. So what's that? How can you retrospectively reverse 40 deductions to 2 deposits? At best, you can eliminate maybe.
That's hard to do.
10, you can maybe eliminate maybe 20 of those deductions with the 2 deposits that you have.
because you can have 20 small bills and whatnot, and those small bills, I mean, they obviously add up, but those small bills ain't going, like, it's not going, it's probably going to be an eighth of what you make a month.
Correct.
You at least want it to be that way, but go ahead.
And I think you're absolutely right. And I don't think a lot of people have trouble paying their bills. I think that's just a given. They have the onesies and twosies that have trouble paying their bills. However, the problem is the miscellaneous spending, cigar smoking, cigarette smoking,
expensive habit,
drinking, buying clothes, buying shoes, traveling, things like that. Now, traveling and all these other vices are not bad in moderation, right? So you have to understand, you have to create a budget. So when he said write down everything that you're spending on and write down all your debts and stuff, that's step one, right? Step two is creating a plan and creating a budget for your spending, right? What are the hard expenditures that you have to pay in order to survive, right? Car note. Well, not really a car note, but depends on where you live in the United States. Car note, rent, light, internet, insurance, things like that, right? Those are the hard bills that you would need to pay. Now, what are the miscellaneous bills or expenses that you're paying right now that literally supersedes the highest bill that you might have, or maybe the second highest bill that you might have, right? And create a budget for that, for entertainment, smoking cigars, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, or traveling, or whatever the case may be, that whatever your vice is, create a budget for that, and then ensure that with any of the other hard expenses that you have to pay, like rent and all that other stuff, try to figure out how to minimize that. Okay, if you have a car, don't try to get the new 2021 what's it called, Mercedes-Benz, or 2021 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. Right.
Scat Pack. Oh,
don't get
not the
don't,
Scat Pack.
Don't get something a little cheaper. If you want the Challenger, get the 2011 Challenger instead of the 2021.
But no, man, I want to go out and I want to impress people. I want to impress these bras out here. They like when I'm in my little Scat Pack.
So one thing I've learned
I'm
from
scatting on them, because I scat that.
one thing I've learned from this book that I'm reading right now
no,
is called Next Door Millionaire, right? And then with that book, it vividly illustrates the person who lives a modest life but is wealthy rich, right? Boy, that is wealthy. Okay, wealthy rich. It's very seldom that those two coexist, but very wealthy, right? So you have to make sure that instead of making yourself look like you're rich, actually be rich or actually be wealthy. All right. So write down all your budget. Write down your expenses. Write down a budget. Write down a plan. Those are the first steps of financial literacy.
Yeah. People got to understand though what that plan entails though, because like we can say all day write a plan, but they're like, okay, so what's the target? Well, the target is contingent upon y'all. So everybody's target is different. His target is going to obviously be different than mine. But let's just use a test target or what have you. So you want to be able to have $2,000 in savings, your credit score at 700 plus, and you want to be able to minimize. Let's see, your expenses are going above your budget. Above what you get paid, because that's how a lot of people when they're in the red and stuff like that. So you want to get your budget, you want to get your expenditures down to at least about like your bills at least to an eighth of what your paycheck is. right? So all these things within a 6-month period. 6 months is like a golden time period, besides a year, right? So you want to get all these things down to. You want to hit all those elements in a 6-month period. What's the first thing that you want to do? What would be the first thing that you would do? What's most important to you out of those 3 things? Even though all of them I feel are equally important, but what would you attack first?
So you said, say that again?
So you want to get your...
I'm sorry, I was smoking the cigar. That
you
shit
was
was
spaced
good.
out, goddamn.
It was good. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Say that
nah.
again. Say that one more time.
So you want to get your credit score over 700, right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. And then you want to have at least $2,000 in savings.
Yep.
And this is all in a matter of a 6-month period. And then you want to also be able to get your expenditures or your bills or whatever down to an eighth of your of what your income is.
Yep.
So tell me, what would you attack first?
Well, the first thing I attack is get my expenditures down. Right? You can't create an emergency fund of $2,000 if you don't have no money to start with anyway. So work on getting your expenditures down, and then you'll have that a lot of money can go towards your emergency fund. And what you were saying, that $2,000 is exactly your emergency fund. Something, tire pop, boom, something like that, right? Now, when I say about plan is always moving and developing and things like that. So while you're planning, you're also learning, right? So if you're 400 trying to get to 700, all right, you have to first understand the key principles of credit, right? Which is the payment history, utilization, inquiries,
and then your mix of credit.
The mix of credit. So,
but then the inquiries
it's like 10%.
Well, no, inquiries. Yeah, inquiries are about like 10%. However, a lot of people have inquiries out the ass. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, you're trying to get your credit up, right? So everything plays a role. Everything's interconnected, right? So if you look at it as a web, it's basically a web effect. All right, by getting down your expenditures, you'll be able to pay your bills on time, right? So once you're paying your bills on time, that shows positively in your credit history, which is 35% of your overall credit score. So as you are paying your bills, like paying down your credit card bills and paying down your car note and paying down your personal loan, the debt to income ratio starts to, first this is debt, this is income. First you're looking like this. Then as you reorganize yourself and literally reorganize your expenditures to make sure that it's more manageable for your lifestyle, then as you paying down all that stuff, it starts to lopside, within that 6-month time frame, or whatever, how long it takes you to, navigate that. Now, as you paying down your debt and things like that, that will positively go in your favor as far as your score, your credit score going up in that case. Now, all right. That's basically the principles of like credit and trying to get your credit from 400 to 700 is literally debt to income ratio and utilization of the credit cards, making sure you're not spending over 30%, or honestly you really don't need to spend that much. Spend no more than 20 or 15% of your credit card limits. There's other different techniques out there that you can do, to mitigate that area of your credit, but that's another video. However, showing that your credit cards is not going over 30%, right? And showing that your personal loans and everything like that is being reduced. Some may say you can consolidate your personal loans or whatever the case may be. Some say that you should keep them like that because if you do consolidation. They're gonna run your credit again, blah blah blah, whatever. It just depends on whatever is best for you, I guess. So, what do you think? What do you think about the whole process?
When it comes to it, okay, so people have to understand that it is a process, right? So
Yeah, I was just rambling on too.
when I got here, when I got here, when I got back to the States, you know, my credit was pretty shot, right? That's because I had these in Germany, you know, they ended up somehow, you know, them little stupid ass phone companies and all them shits. Yeah, so them shits ended up, you know, and going to collections, even though I didn't claim those, right? But that's another topic, you know, or you know, y'all hit me up personally to know how to go around that. But anyway, I had a goal that by August and I actually told him and T, his wife T, for those of y'all who don't know. So I told them specifically, I think it was in January, I told them, I said, my shit about to be like 700 by August. Mark my words. Literally, by the end of, it was like, yeah, by the end of August, I had a 780. Sent it to them too. They have the receipts. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me to do that, even in the midst of COVID too, because that was what was going on at the time, I had to buckle down and do some hustles. I had to find work on top of that. I had to find full-time work because, like I said, I'm back here in the States, and I'm basically just getting reestablished. So, so I had to find full-time work since my movements with music had to be put on hold. Like the festivals that I was going to perform at, they had to be put on hold, you know, due to COVID. But at the end of the day, everybody has to learn to adjust. And so that's what I ended up doing. And also I had to find a stable place to stay. So I had to set aside all that money. But in order for me to do that, I had to literally work with the money that I had, that I was getting, the one paycheck that I was already getting. And I had to put a little bit aside on that, while I still have bills and still looking for a job and everything like that. So my thing is, like, there's no one thing fix all type thing, but y'all just have to understand that sacrifices need to be made. I wasn't doing a lot of drinking or nothing like that, or smoking cigars. Actually, I didn't start smoking cigars until like that summer, like July. Why are you looking at me like that? I thought you gave me that look. You gave me that you gave me that Bobby cynicism look.
What?
Whoa,
man.
No, but anyway, I didn't start smoking cigars till like, I guess, around July that year. But anyway, I guess what I had to do, I had to make sure the priorities were straight. Sacrifice. A lot of people are not ready to do that. That's a bad word to them. Sacrifice. Sacrifice what? Sacrifice going and getting that bud that you want to get. You know, going and getting an O, you know, every other week. You know, so that way you got some in the arsenal. Or, you know, for us with the cigars, you know, we have to, I mean, even now we kind of have to minimize it, you know, because we do spend a lot on cigars too. But if you know that you're not going to be able to make certain bills, especially big bills, you need to make sure that you think ahead as best you can. Think ahead. I play chess all the time, so for me, I'm always thinking ahead. I know we're not promised the next minute, hour, day, and all that good shit, but understand this: I aspire to be out of debt, or to have this amount of money, and in order for me to do that, I need to put that in motion. So that's my biggest advice when it comes to the financial literacy. And even Dave Ramsey talks about it, that people need to start making certain sacrifices. It's not to say that you don't have any fun and you become, you know, socially awkward or whatever the case may be. But you gotta, you
Basically, you have to understand and be uncomfortable. Being comfortable, uncomfortable, right? So,
real quick.
yeah.
Real quick, I was looking like a. I was looking homeless for a while. Everybody that know that time period, I was looking homeless and everything. Wouldn't get my head done, nothing. I know partially because of COVID. There was still people you could under the table or behind closed doors. You could still get your head done, but I wasn't doing none of that.
You gotta be comfortable, uncomfortable, right? So you have to sacrifice a short-term pleasure for long-term desire. And after that, I mean, that's basically what it is. Educate yourself, immerse yourself into education, surround yourself around like-minded people who are also wanting to be financially literate. All right. The biggest thing what I would urge you to do is to minimize all your debts, pay all your debts off. All right. Credit cards, keep them open. Even though if you pay them off, keep them open. Because if you close them, it cancels the payment history. Right?
Yeah.
So, pay everything off. Try your best to pay off your student loans. Right? Then, once you have a little bit of money in your pocket, create your little nest egg. Right? Say you slip and fall and broke your back and can't get back up. Right? Have your little nest egg, that can support you through that recovery between, 1 to 6 months. All right, create that nest egg. Yeah. You already have your, emergency fund, but also to create your nest egg in case that emergency fund runs out. Boom, it retroacts, and it goes to your other fund, your other emergency fund, long-term emergency fund for 1 to 6 months. Some people do a year, but like I said, 1 to 6 months is perfectly fine. Then when you have all that money to play with, put that money into, if you don't know nothing about stocks or investing, that's fine. It's cool. There's someone in this world that does. Financial advisor, right? Call that person up. Vet that person, all right? Vet the persons. Call like 5 of them, right? Find somebody that you know who is financially literate. Have them help you out. Locate a financial advisor, whatever. Then have that financial advisor help you out with creating a retirement plan, creating a Roth ROA, creating different investments that you can get into from different companies that are not yet on the public or on the stock market. Invest into things that will create passive income, i.e., vending machine businesses, e-commerce to a certain extent.
Yeah, but what if there are people who don't want to do all them side hustles?
People, if you don't want to do all them side hustles, save your money. That's it. Save it. When I mean save your money, put your money into a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA, all right, or the stock market. Let that money compound. Get your indexes, all right. Get you some bonds or mutual funds or whatever. Continue putting your money into those whatever your investment strategy is. Put them into those type of securities. Keep investing. Let them compound, and then you'll see your money work for you. That's all I got for you.
It's a long game.
It's a long game.
Long game. A lot
Also,
of people these days.
I'm sorry. One thing too, get life insurance. Especially if you have a family and you got kids and stuff. Get life insurance. Get life insurance. Your mom or your dad. Get life insurance. That's also another way. We all die. It's not something that we don't already know. There's 2 things that's gonna happen in this world. You're gonna die and pay taxes. That's inevitable. So, get life insurance. It's there because It's there for a reason. All right, I'm gonna say it as that. It's there for a reason. Get life insurance. Get life insurance on your family. All right. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. No, definitely, y'all. Like all that he said, life insurance. Just we're for those that are watching, there's probably going to be a good number of people from even high school watching this and stuff like that. And you seeing us where we at, and we're basically approaching 30. We're in our late 20s. Excuse me. We wish we would have had this information at that time. We'd probably obviously be a lot further along, but it's not about that. Because at the end of the day, it's still a marathon. It's still like I just got through coming from the cigar lounge and stuff, and I was talking to my guy who's 60 years old, and he's about to go to Punta Cana, right?
Oh.
He about to go there with his wife for the next 14 days.
Dominico
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I'm about to see I don't know what that was, but I don't know what I just said. I don't know what I just said. It sounded good off the tongue.
It sounded good, didn't it? It sounded good. But no, he's about to go there. But I told him, I said, man, I'm ready to get, because he got all these planned trips coming up, this year and then probably following year too. And I'm like, man, I can't wait to get to that point. He's like, yeah, man, and it ain't happen overnight, So I think with this generation though, I don't know if you feel the same way, that with this generation, I think what's driving folks to try to find like that quick fix and everything like that to become a millionaire tomorrow and all that is because they don't want to be older and try to enjoy life, right? They feel like they don't know if they're going to get older, or if they get older, they don't know if they're going to be in the greatest health condition or in the greatest health circumstances. This is my biggest stab at my perception on that. What you think about that?
Yeah, it's very plausible concern. We don't know when we're gonna leave this earth. Ever. This is the thing. It's better to leave this earth knowing, for your family and friends, knowing that you was working on building something, than have your family and friends know that you were just very gifted, or he had a lot of potential. And that's one of my fears. I fear passing away and my family and friends saying, oh man, he has so much potential. No, this man was out here. I want them to say this man was out here getting it, hustling, working, trying to create something, build it, trying to build something, trying to build his version of an empire, right? That's what I want them to say about me. Not, oh man, he has so much potential. It just make you seem like you knew you was able to do something, but you didn't do it. So, yeah, man.
So much potential.
Even if life gets cut short, and you're fearful, oh man, I think I might not be able to, enjoy what I want to enjoy at my late 40s and 50s.
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer and beach body, all this. Forget all that. I tell you what, for all them married people, you ain't need to be worrying about that stuff. Right. You got your wife and your kids, and y'all gonna have a good time. Now, for all your single folks, talk to them.
Hot girl summer having that. No, but for single, man, just focus on you. I know y'all probably hear it a lot out there right now, but really, really, really focus on your purpose, because you have this time to do so. We so much want to find relationships and whatnot. And I'm not saying don't talk to people, whatever, that you want to talk to, you're interested in, whatever, but this is a different day and age now. There's different, there's different standards, if you will, and different modes that we got to get to where we want to get to. Whereas some 30, 40 odd years ago, you know, it was a certain way, right? It's just the evolution of life.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the standard, let's just say, like, let's be more exact, the standard of living, or even just having a lifestyle is through the roof. It's fucking crazy now, dog. You know, so like with that being said, we got to make sure that when going back to everything we talked about earlier, we got to make sure that we are being prudent or wise with our spending, but making sure we make those sacrifices that we need to make, so that way, yeah, work hard and then you can play hard. My pops used to always tell me that.
Yep.
You know, work hard, then you can play hard. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this and then we'll wrap it up. The old American dream is beautiful house, beautiful car, nice family, white picket fence. American dream now, this is what you have to look at too. You gotta look
white
into
fence, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
American dream now is time freedom, money freedom, and travel freedom. If you can, this is the new American dream. This is not really new. It's been out here for at least for the last 30 years. It's not really new. So, time freedom, money freedom, travel freedom. If you can accomplish those and still make the money that you're making right now, then you are the new modern day version of American success. No matter how much you're making, it don't matter if you're making 100K, no matter if you're making 50K. If you have those three aspects, you are American success. Okay? That's all I got, folks. Sit back here.
Don't rush the process.
Enjoy my cigar.
Don't rush the process.
Talk to my brother DeAndre.
Don't rush the process.
And we are out, folks. Nigga.